Welcome back. It's the Blazor Puzzle. I'm Carl Franklin from AppVNext. That's Jeff Fritz from Microsoft. Hey, Jeff.
How do? Good to see you, Carl.
Good to see you. Are you back on terra firma in good old Philly?
Yes, and snow has melted. I can see the grass again, and I don't like what I'm seeing.
Next week, it's supposed to get up in the 50s over here.
Can you believe it? We're almost into spring. It's going to be so nice. So
well, why don't we spring into last week's puzzle, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, now you created this one, and just to tell everybody how you created it, this is a Blazor Web App with no interactivity, right?
Yeah, just found new Blazor Web App and interactivity none. That's the default stuff, and away we go.
Right.
Let's jump through.
Because you can't see any kind of add server or WebAssembly here.
Yeah.
And AppBlazor has no render mode here.
No.
And you created a contact page. And why don't you take it from here? Tell everybody what this is all about.
Created a contact page, and right, so I've got an edit form here. I've got some validation information that's here on the page. And as I went through, I added some fields for collecting folks' name, email, and maybe send a message to us. Hey, I want to drop some feedback about the BlazorPuzzle podcast. Here's some information and how you can get in touch with me. Easy form to think about and place on the screen. But when I run this, it doesn't work right. I want to use the edit form components you see here because, right, those are the things we've been taught are really good and built for Blazor that'll do the validation things for you based on data annotations and some of those shortcut things we've become accustomed to in other .NET user interface frameworks. So starts up and runs, and when we get into the application, it looks like it's running properly.
Well, let's see what happens.
There we go. So we got a contact form there on the side. And there we go. 3 fields, and I can key in whatever here.
And
you click, and it says validate anti-forgery token. But, Carl, if we went back to the source code, I'm using anti-forgery token. So what's the answer? Well, if you dig into the documentation, the edit form component actually adds an anti-forgery token for you. So if you go back and look at the post that happened, it actually submitted 2 anti-forgery tokens.
Therefore it's an invalid anti-forgery token.
At least one of them is invalid.
Yeah. So if we just take this out.
Take it out.
And let's see what happens now.
Back on the form, fill it out with some simple information, and now it works.
So let's just put a breakpoint here in submit form. This is easy enough. And then we press the button again, and yeah, it gets there.
And there's your data.
So we got a few right answers here. And we picked one at random, and this week's winner is, drumroll please, Randy Jean from South Bend, Indiana.
Oh my gosh, South Bend. Randy, congratulations.
Yeah. And for having his answer picked at random from all the right answers we got, Randy is going to win one of these, a BlazorPuzzle mug.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's not all. He's also going to win one of these, a BlazorPuzzle coveted t-shirt. All right. That was a good one, Jeff. Let's get into next week's puzzle. Well, before we get to the puzzle, Jeff, I'd like us to introduce a new little segment that we're going to do in the middle of the show, where we just talk about some things that have been going on in the world of web and Blazor and whatever.
Yeah, let's catch up and talk about some of the other things that are going on in the world of modern web development.
Yeah. So this is fortuitous because the latest version of .NET, which comes with the latest upgrade of Visual Studio, they've fixed this bug. And if you go to my Blazor 8 test GitHub repo, and I'll put a link on the screen right there, you will see this .NET 8 Blazor Web App in global auto mode now working correctly. So if you upgrade to Visual Studio to version 17.9.0, the app renders correctly.
So this was something we discussed way long time ago on the show here, where, right, if you had auto render mode, it didn't paint things and give you control as WebAssembly immediately, and you couldn't do anything with server side either, right?
Yeah, that's right. What should happen is you should immediately be using server mode with a WebSocket while the WebAssembly files are working in the background, downloading in the background. And then once the WebAssembly files are loaded and you refresh the page, you reinitialize that page, then you'll be using WebAssembly. Okay? So what would happen was it would lock up, download all the WebAssembly stuff, and the first render you got was WebAssembly. You never actually got to server. So here's the issue itself in the ASP.NET Core GitHub repo, number 52154, and you can read all about it there. And I also have a link to a demo right here, Blazor 8 test at azurewebsites.net. And when you go here, you can see I'm in server mode, right?
Sure. And it's responding. It's counting like you'd expect.
Yep. Let's refresh. Now we're in SSR, and then boom, WASM.
Nice.
So you have to reload it. You have to refresh the page.
The next visit to the website.
Yeah, the next visit to the website. So that's it. That's our little thing. Now let's talk about next week's puzzle. So there's really nothing to see in this puzzle. It's a simple question. We want to be able to create a .NET 8 standalone WebAssembly Blazor Web App. Now, the Visual Studio templates don't allow you to do that. In other words, it's not one of the listed templates. You can create a Blazor Web App, but you can't pick WebAssembly with no interactivity. It's got to be WebAssembly, right? And when you pick WebAssembly, whether it's global or per page component, you're going to get two projects. You're going to get a hosted WebAssembly application. But if you say, I want a Blazor WebAssembly app as your template project, you'll get one, but it'll be .NET 7.
Right.
So it's a simple question. How can I create a new standalone Blazor WebAssembly app in .NET 8?
So you want to host this in just static HTML.
Exactly.
So you can deploy and run it in some static web,
some cloud thing or
location.
some CDN, wherever. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to zip it up and
That's
send it to somebody, you know?
Yeah.
So there you go, folks.
What do you think?
That's your task. Chew on it. Now, if you think you know the answer, don't post it on social media, of course, but instead send it to me and Jeff at blazorpuzzle@appvnext.com with the subject puzzle number 24. And we will, of course, check out all the responses that we get, and we'll pick one winner for next week. I hope it's you.
No, not you.
Not you. The other guy.
You over there. All right.
We'll see you next week.
You already won one. I want to see if they win.
Yeah, right. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out blazortrain.com and the .NETshow.com for more great content.